I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Victoria.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
How's it going today?
I love that little hair flip you just did.
Hey. Okay. So today we're gonna be talking about jobs.
Yes.
Jobs.
More importantly, we're just gonna be talking about like coworkers. How do you deal with coworkers? So I mean, I know Essence. I know you're like a model. So like, who's like the worst person that you've ever had to work with? Mm-hmm. Point blank.
Working on set, you know, it's more about, because it could be anyone, something that they do. What makes it difficult, maybe offset kind of while you're on break, people who are not being professional and they're trying to flirt with you, but they don't get the picture, hard body.
People do people flirt with you a lot?
Men, women, but you know what? I feel like they don't continue because you could kind of tell who that person is, who you could play with and who you can't, who you can take seriously. I've had even women, I don't know, because I'm straight, it was weird to me, and they were older, text me, you know, trying to give me, and I was so thrown off that they were like, because it was kind of creepy how they were like, don't tell anyone about this. It's almost like you knew that you were doing something you shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So
If you have to tell someone don't tell anyone about it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And another thing, okay, being on set, people you can't deal with that you work with that are so difficult to deal with when literally they're rude to everybody and obnoxious to everybody. I cannot deal with it. Like, you know, if they might have an assistant and they're just so rude. You ever see someone be rude and nasty to someone else and you can't take it? You want to say something to kind of
it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. So I just can't. I like good energies, good vibes, and when people bring those bad energies, it's like hard to work with the person.
Well, how do you work with people that you don't necessarily get along with or see eye to eye with?
What do I do about it? Whatever I'm there to do, I do my job.
Okay.
Maybe I won't really be talking to you so much, or because I can't take that in. I really feel like I don't want to absorb those. Yeah.
And I felt it might be easier because like once you leave the set, you probably don't have to see some of those people like again.
But you know, the industry is small, so you might see them again. You might work with those people again. Makeup artists here, I've seen them all repeatedly over time. Hairdressers, stylists, yeah.
What about you?
I've worked almost always exclusively in like the food business, and so there's a lot of energies, a lot of people. I'd say that there's like a bunch of different types of people that bother me. Coworker is one of them, but also bad managers. They can make it so unpleasant to work with, you know? A good manager, I understand that you can't be everybody's friend. That's not what a manager is. You have to come down on people sometimes. But sometimes people are just very inconsiderate. Like, you know, like sometimes I have a manager that will do passive-aggressive things, like not put you on the schedule. Or make comments about your outfits. I mean, like, the way, like, my job, I'm a hostess, so, you know, like, I'm, like, the first thing that people see when they come to the restaurant is I'm a big representation of, I guess, who we are, and they take it very seriously, and I take that seriously. You know, I keep myself very clean, I'm very well-dressed, but sometimes not everybody appreciates it. But you can't take it personally. Coworkers, there's a lot of gossip that goes down in the restaurant business.
Like about what?
Other people.
Oh wow.
I had a coworker who told me, almost immediately upon meeting me, told me everybody's business.
Sheesh.
And at first, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. Let me get some popcorn. Let me get some tea."
Did she think she was doing you a favor, kind of like, I'm gonna put you on and help you out?
Yeah. At first, that's the thing I got, but I also remember like something my mom told me: if someone's talking about other people to you, expect them to be talking about you to other people.
Very true.
So I learned that very quickly, and I don't like to share my business. I mean, I do at work because I just don't care. Like, you know, I'm very open, but at the same time, there's certain things I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell them how wrecked I got this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like at my job, I'm a receptionist at a spa, and it's pretty quiet, but like, I mean, the craziest people come in there. I actually used to have a coworker. She was wild. She was always talking.
Tell us the Gina story.
The Gina story. Okay, she was a sweet woman, but she was like always talking about her business, like all the time. Like she was like, "Oh yeah, I filed for bankruptcy. Now I don't have to pay off my student loans." And I was like, I don't even know this woman. Like I don't like the only thing I knew about her was her last name. And like she was always telling everybody her business. She actually lost a client once because she told them like that she was still training or something like that. And I sat her down. This woman was like probably 40, 50 years old. And I was like, listen, like, you don't need to be talking about yourself at the spa all the time. Like, no offense, but like, nobody cares.
That's
like,
nice that she, well, you said to my kids.
No, I didn't try to say it like that, but I was like, honestly, you don't need to talk about your business, like, we come here to work, and like it's fine if like you want to share something that happened that weekend, but it's like everybody knows everything about you, you know what I mean? Like I feel like personally when I go into my job, like I do what I have to do, and I just don't talk about myself. Like I rarely ever talk about what I'm doing that weekend, what's going on with me, because that's not the place, you know? Like I have friends, I have people that I hang out with, and they are the people that know about my personal life.
Yeah.
You know, like, but she was always talking about stuff, always, all the time, and like literally like she doesn't work with us anymore because she actually got arrested.
Oh my, tell us the story.
Because, okay, literally, I was with one of my other coworkers, and I was like, hey, have you seen Gina? Because usually she's there when I'm there. And he's like, oh, you didn't hear? She got arrested because apparently she, like, stole, like, skincare from, like, some random department store, right? She doesn't get caught when she steals them, but she brings them back for some reason. She brings them back and tries to return them. And so she gets caught. Yeah, she gets caught trying to return them. She gets sent to jail, right? And then she calls my boss and she's like, hey, can you like bail me out right now? And my boss is like, I'm not in a position to do that.
Are they even close like that?
No, they're not. She just started working. She started working there after me. And I was like, what is going on? And then she like, it was crazy, and then apparently her mom was like, oh, she's done this before, so I'm not going to bail her out. Like, when your own mom...
Is something wrong with her?
You're a grown woman.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, I mean, listen, we've all done a little bit of, like, shoplifting when we're in our teens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You steal, like, a lip gloss or something stupid like that. But, yeah, but when you're a grown woman stealing, that's a low point in your life. That is so sad.
It was crazy. It was so crazy, and I was like, wow, okay, like, at least this woman's not going to ask me about my weekend again. Like, I mean, I wish her well, but I was just like, yo, like, wow. It was just crazy. Like, she was already always in everybody's business. Do you ever have, like, people, like, at your jobs or whatever you do, like, just be in your business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a coworker who, in addition to knowing everything about everybody, like, I know who's sleeping with who doesn't like who. Like, in addition to that, they come out with these wild accusations. Like, this one I was very sick, and I came to work because, you know what, I suck it up. Mm-hmm. I took a ton of NyQuil, go to work. And my eye, like, when you're sick, your eyes get all glossy, you look whatever. My coworker comes up to me, she's like, are you on drugs right now? And I was
I mean, I guess you have to ask, but...
First of all, you're not my manager. I'm so sorry, you're not my manager.
Oh, wasn't even the boss or anything?
No, it was a coworker. Are you on drugs? And I'm like, no. She's like, are you sure? Like, acting as if I'm lying. And I'm like, absolutely not. One, I don't do drugs. Second, I would never come to work on drugs.
Yeah.
And third, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
Because you're not my manager. If the manager thinks that I'm on drugs and wants to pull me aside and say, Victoria, what's up with you? That's one thing. But you can't take it upon yourself to police everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
I hate when people
disrespectful.
who don't know me ask me personal questions like that, or too many. Like when you first start meeting someone, let's say your first day on the job, and someone asks you so much about yourself. It's the difference between trying to get to know someone gradually. It's not like I'm gonna get fired the next day, but you're just bombarding me with questions. It's a little like intrusion on my space.
Yeah, it's
you don't know me. Like, how do you know I want to tell you my business? Maybe I don't want to talk to you at all. Just come to work and be cordial.
Yeah,
I think that's the right thing to do, and just do
absolutely.
my job and leave.
I mean, I can't stand that either. Like when people are just like, "Hey, where are you going? What's going on? What are you doing?" Like, okay, calm down. You don't sound.
You might want to be friendly, but it's like,
no. But there's friendly, and then there's nosy.
Yeah. Also, speaking of friendly, persistent flirting. I know that, like, so many people, like, they have such a problem with, like, people flirting with them, like, at their job. Sometimes it works for them. I know a lot of people who are, like, waitresses and stuff, people flirt with them so that they make more money, and I'm like, wow, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I don't know. I
can't feign interest in people like that. I'm very bad at that. I have a very good story. When I was 19, I had just dropped out of college, so I took the whole semester off. My parents made me get a full-time job.
Okay.
I worked at a grocery store, and the owner went away, and they put the manager in charge of running it, and I had not met him yet, like, very briefly. Yeah. First day we met, he's very nice to me. He's like, you know, he's a young, kind of good-looking dude. And I was just like, oh, this is cool. You know what I mean? Someone trying to relate to me. We go downstairs to get more produce, and he starts getting a little too friendly. He's just asked me, he's just like, so what do you like to do? You look like you like to get crazy. Like, he's just like, we should hang out sometime. And I just, like, kind of laughed because I'm, like, nervous. I'm in, like, this, I'm like, like, I'm in, like, this room with him. I want to go upstairs where there's more people.
Well, there's windows.
Yeah, there's a door. Yeah. So we go upstairs. And we're doing produce, and he literally, word for word, just like, there is something so innocent about you. I just want to ruin you sexually. And I was like, I had just turned 19, like 2 weeks ago, and I was like,
okay.
I'm wearing khaki pants.
How old was he?
He was like 29.
Oh my god.
I'm wearing khaki pants and like a black V-neck. This
That's
is not
like
a
borderline sexual harassment.
It was, and he would continue and continue and continue to come at me, take my card, come hang out with me. It never worked. He eventually got fired, thank God.
Okay.
Did you guys ever have like older men try to flirt with you in the workplace?
Yes.
'Cause I feel like I hate when older men are always trying to come at you, and especially, you know, being me when I was modeling since I was 18. I just thought it was so weird, but I would see it happening all the time. I'm like, is this normal?
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to get dressed, you're in a bikini or something, run across. It's like, why do you feel comfortable saying this way? I'm just thinking about my grandfather. He would never talk to any of my friends.
Yeah, no.
My dad would never talk like this to women. That's what I think. My
That's
dad
too
and my
much.
stepdad would never talk like this to younger women.
You could complain. I mean, you could complain. There's always a complaint department.
It's
Yeah,
a little
human
bit,
resources.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do that, at least where I work, because I have a lot of, like, older men that come in to the bar, and, like, I talk to people, because, listen, I'm lonely at the hostess stand. I'm going to talk to people, you know, sometimes I get tipped, it's not so bad, but some guys, they come in, like, they're married, they have the ring on, and they're just wildly inappropriate, and I just have to,
Yeah.
like, I can't do anything about it because you're a paying customer.
Yeah.
I could walk away, but if you come up and talk to me, I can't tell you to F off.
Yeah.
Here's a question on human resources. How do you deal with it? Do you go to HR? Do you go to your boss? How do you deal with sexual harassment?
I've never had like a human resource department. I've never worked in a job like that, so I can't.
Well, I have, but I mean, I've never been in like a position where like I was ever made uncomfortable to the point where I had to go to the human resources department when I worked in human resources. But I mean, generally, I feel like if you're ever made uncomfortable by someone, you should tell your boss. That's personally what I do.
First and
like,
foremost.
because I
or
mean,
supervisor.
That woman Gina, like she would always just like talk about herself, and like she would just get like really like annoyed if people wouldn't listen to her. Like that was another thing. Like I would try to tune her out, and she would always be like, "Do you have a problem with me? Do you have a problem with me?" And I'm like, "No, Gina, I'm just trying to work here." Like,
So get offended so easily,
yeah.
right?
And I told my boss, I was like, listen, like, this girl, like, she's just, like, on my case, and I'm just trying to do my job. Like, I'm trying to do the stuff that you asked me to do, and she keeps talking to me.
She wants a response from everyone. It seems
Yeah.
like she's very insecure.
She needs attention.
Yeah, and she was just like, you know what, I'll take care of it, you know, like, those are, like, the people who are supervising you, like, they should be taking care of you if you're in a situation like that, where it's like, I'm just trying to do my job, and somebody's stopping me from doing my job. Like, ultimately, like, those are the people that you should go to, your human resources or, like, your supervisor or boss, like, and I feel like also, like, if they're the head of the operation, like, that's who you should be talking to as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, at my job, like, we're supposed to be, like, a family, you know what I mean? And it's like, if anybody's stopping us from, like, doing the best for everybody, like, that's a problem, and that needs to be addressed, so.
Did you ever have someone other than your boss or your employees, your co-workers, harass you? Like, let's say if you had a customer come in that was being rude or stealing, you tried to, you know, condemn them about it, and they just went off on you, and you're, like, scared they're gonna try to fight you in the store?
I have so many, like, people call the spot all the time, and, like, they're just trying to, like, sort of, like, pull a deal off over us, and I remember recently, like, somebody called about the power. They were like, oh, your power's gonna be shut off because you didn't pay your bill, and I was like, oh my god, like, that's kind of important because we have all
machines.
this. Yeah, we have machines that need to work on electricity. So I called my boss and I'm like, oh my god, like, they're gonna shut off the power. I don't know what's going on. And like, I was on the phone for like 3 hours, like, just calling them back and forth because my boss wasn't there, and then they were on the phone, and I was just calling them back and forth, and I was like, okay, so how much, like, do we have to pay? And then they kept on changing the minimum balance that we had to pay, and I was like, why do you keep changing the balance? Like, originally they were like, oh, you have to pay $800, then you have to pay $700, then you have to pay $400, then you have to pay $500. And I was like, why are you changing the number? Do you have, like, my, like, account number? Like, why are you calling? And, like, I suppose it was a scam. I still don't know to this day. But, like, I would call them and I'd be like, so why are you changing numbers all the time? Why don't you have any of the numbers that, like, are on here? Like, I'm telling you what I'm looking at right now, the bills that I received from your, like, department that you're saying that you're calling from, and you're wrong. And then they just stopped calling, and I was like,
That's
wow.
scammers.
yeah,
Scammers.
that's what you gotta do.
There's a lot of people. Actually, we have coupons at my job to get like $10 off, $20 off, and they expire. And my new manager is just like, okay, they're all expired. We have new ones out. Don't accept the old ones.
Yeah.
Someone came in with the coupon. They look identical, and it's very busy. You know what I mean? I don't have time to. I mean, I guess I should, but sometimes you get a little caught up. Someone ripped the expiration date off of the coupon. Wow. And I had to take it because you know what, like, the customer's always right. It's one of those things. But it was just a crappy situation because my manager came down to me. He's just like, you should know. And I should have known. But at the same time, I felt uncomfortable because this guy was very pushy, like, oh, we always come here. We're very good customers. We know this person. We know that
That's
person.
Not right.
Yeah, no.
I mean, your manager should explain what to do in that situation then. If someone rips it off and the customer is always right, usually in restaurants and, and working in retail, then what do you do in that matter? You don't have time to really come to go and get your manager all the time. But
exactly. He's busy doing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always that person where I'm always like, oh my God, can you please help me? Oh my God, I don't know what
yes,
to do.
that's me too.
Because like I never want to do anything wrong and have them be like, listen, you shouldn't have done that, you know? Because I feel so bad when I'm responsible for a situation and it's like, listen, you shouldn't have done that. Now we have to do whatever you said, you know? Like I never want to make any decisions. Whenever anybody calls, I'm like, listen, I'm only reception. So this is what I thought, but I'm going to call her and then I'm going to tell you, like, because I don't want to get any lines crossed or anything like that, any wires crossed. I don't want you to get a deal that you don't deserve or whatever. Like, I don't, this is not my business, you know? Like, I just work here, you know?
That's the bad part about working for someone.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a passive-aggressive coworker? You're working with a coworker who's not necessarily bullying to you, but, like, just isn't, like, is very passive-aggressive and they know, just doesn't like you. How would you guys deal with that? Have you guys had to deal with it before?
Well, I've had to deal with, like, people, like, not necessarily at a workplace, but, like, working in school, there's a lot of passive-aggressive people all the time. Personally, like, I like to split up work so that it's like we all have a job, you know? Like if you're not doing your job, that's your fault. I'm doing my job and I'm doing great, but you're not doing your job and we agreed upon this, you know what I mean? If you're going to be passive aggressive about something and we're all working together, it might as well be the work that we're doing, not anything that's based on my personality or if you think that I'm smart or anything like that. If you're trying to come for my life, like you're wrong because this has nothing to do with my life. Like I'm just trying to work here and do my job. So I always like split up stuff and it's like usually I feel like people are passive aggressive because like they think that they know better than other people. You know, like I remember I had to do like a project with this girl and she was like getting annoyed because she felt like she was doing the whole project. But like literally I looked over it and I had to redo the entire project. Because she's just stupid. And I was like, oh, you think that you put words on a PowerPoint and that's doing a project? No, you have to actually read, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, yo, like, I have to fix this entire project and your name is going on it. Like, don't ever speak to me again. Make sure, don't talk to me or my son ever again. Like,
some people just suck at being passive aggressive though. Like when they think they're just trying to be quiet but quietly yell, you can't really do it. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Just say something.
You're literally just being aggressive.
Yeah, like just say it. Like if you have a problem, like just come through. Like we can work it out. But like if you're just gonna be like, I don't think you should do that, or like
it's rude.
I do it this way. Okay, then you can do it. You can do it as opposed to telling me to do it. You know what I mean?
It's annoying.
I don't like that.
I had a coworker at the same meat market. This is a great story, great quitting story. Jess, she was 21. And when we first walked in, we were the only girls that worked there. So I was just like, oh, cool. Like, it's cool. There's another girl work there. And she was very standoffish. And I'm like, well, maybe she's just shy. I'm a shy person. I get that. So I tried, being friendly, asking questions. Not too much, just trying to get to know somebody. Because we have to spend all day together, you know? She was very closed off. I think I offended her because I made a comment about EDM music without realizing that she loves to go to raves, and God. I was like, oh man, she's gonna hate me. And ever since then, she's passive aggressive. I'd be putting a stand together. She would be like, just kind of be like, oh, like, can you move over and like redo the entire thing for no reason. Or I would be, like, going to get the phone to answer it, and she would, like, snatch it away. And I'm like, okay.
If you want to do my job. Then you're getting personal here.
And then I'd have to mop the floors at night, and she would just kind of, like, sit on, like, the counter and, like, laugh with all the other people and, like, kind of give me this look. And I'm like, I don't really...
Because you insulted EDM music, people are allowed to hate something that you don't like.
I didn't even say I hated it. I just made a comment about how I'm just like, oh, are you one of those people that goes to raves and listens to EDM and stuff like that?
Oh, the way you said it.
Yeah, and I guess, you know what, and I apologize after. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I really didn't know. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but...
It seems like he was trying to make a joke out of it. I don't think you meant it to, like, be...
Yeah, it was making a joke. Exactly. Because I was like, because that's how it is in Long Island.
Like, you was using a stereotype. It seemed like you're one of those people who goes...
Yeah. And she got upset. So anyways, one day, she had a bad attitude, and everyone knew it.
Yeah.
One day, she's on the phone. It was very busy. She's on the phone with a customer, trying to ring up people. The customer, I guess, kept talking, and she just snaps. She threw the phone across the room.
Oh my God.
Threw it.
Oh my God.
And walked out.
Oh my God.
And that was fired. Oh yeah, she was mad.
Wow.
No, sometimes the customers could be annoying though. The customers, because when I used to work in retail,
absolutely.
I sometimes wanted to throw the phone too. When they start talking to you and you see there's a long line in the back, it's like, okay, keep it moving now. But then it's almost like they're being passive aggressive. A lot of people, I guess, have that type of that feeling. They feel like they want to do that, without looking like it to other people around them. So when a customer will continually purposely take their time, because they know you can't yell at them about it, hate that.
I always feel like weird though. Like I always get like that weird voice. Like when people keep me on the phone for too long, I start going like deadpan, but I sound happy. So I'm like, thank you so much. I will definitely call you back. And I try not to, but it's like after a while, it's like I have to pick up another line, and like also my boss is like staring at me, and you're wasting my time talking to me about your day, Margaret. Like I can't do this right now.
The worst is like, I do have to do like the takeout order, so like I'll be on the phone, and it's always when it's just me there. They'll be like, I'll get one phone call and then automatic like 3 more, and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And I have to answer all of them. Like, thank you for calling Mateo's, please hold.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling, please hold. What can I do for you?
Like,
and it's always the one person I decide to deal with first takes the longest.
Oh I hate dealing with shoplifters.
Oof.
Well, there was a lot of theft at my store one time, and so the people who we knew, because we have cameras, they came in again. At this time you're supposed to tell them you can't come in the store anymore, right? So they came in the store, and they are getting mad at us, kind of, because we are noticing that they're trying to take stuff. They go into the dressing rooms, and they try to go in with 2 people. You have to continuously tell them go in by themselves, and they're trying to steal stuff and keep it. Wow. So literally, we almost got into a fight because they wanted to fight us, but they're outside the door. We had to keep the door locked, and they were banging on the door and everything. Crazy.
Well, that's
so
OD.
scary.
That's so much.
That's too much.
And it's so scary because the store was about to close. So how are we gonna get out?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's too much. I mean, okay, I have a question. In your opinion, do you feel like men bosses or women bosses are harder to deal with?
Depends on the environment, I think.
I feel like I've had
both.
I've had really hard men bosses. In both the times that I had bosses as men bosses, I just feel like they were unnecessarily rude to me, and I was just like, why are you like this? You could chill out. I personally don't understand it, but I feel like sometimes the women that I've had as supervisors and bosses and stuff like that, they have been just kind of unnecessary at times, but most of the time they're pretty chill.
I feel you.
Yeah, not rational. I hate they don't deal with logic too well.
Yeah, that was I used to be a manager for a bakery, and I was the only employee. So the owner would text me throughout the day because I would open the store and run it for her.
Yeah.
And she would text me. And sometimes I would forget to do something stupid. I forgot to put the bread away or whatever. And I would get a paragraph long text about how I'm not doing the right thing and how she's confused as to why after been working here and having been told what to do that I'm still doing this.
Right.
And I just wouldn't answer. That was my display. I would be like, okay, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then the male bosses, I feel like they can be a little bit more sympathetic if you play up the fact that you're a girl. And I don't want to do that, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to just work what God gave me. Someone's going to, treat me like I'm a little bit helpless because I'm a girl and I messed up. Let me use that to my advantage.
Absolutely. I feel like I had a boss. He was I worked at a pediatric neurologist's office, and it was a really busy office. There was literally 100 patients in a day. And it was crazy. The kids were crazy. I remember they had ADHD. Some of them were on the autism spectrum, and some of them were really nice. Some of the kids were really nice, but some of them were just they were racist. It was a terrible time. And I was always afraid of messing things up because these are people's lives. You know what I mean? If they don't get their prescriptions, they could die. It's very, very grave. Yeah. So I would do one thing wrong, and then they would track it back to me because we would have to sign everything. And he would just come up to me and he'd be like, why are you like this? He literally would just be like, why are you like this? And I'm like, honestly, I'm just really nervous. I'm because there's so much stuff to think about, you know what I mean? And it's I always hated doing the big jobs because I was I feel like I'm gonna mess this up.
And then pressure.
Yeah, and I would always ask questions, and I would ask the same questions almost because I really didn't want to mess it up because I messed it up that one time. So I wanted to make sure that I got it done the right time. But people would always just be like, "Yo, you've asked me this already," and I'm just
I'll take notes then.
Yeah, and I would take notes, but at the same time, I feel every situation was different. So it was
a little bit different.
Yeah, so every new situation that I was in, I was can you help me? Can you help me? And everyone was like kind of like over my stuff. And I was like, but I actually left that job because it made me so nervous. Like I couldn't eat sometimes. Like it was so bad. And I like never stick in a job that makes you feel that way.
Ever.
It doesn't matter how good the money is. If you're stressed out, if you don't feel happy, absolutely leave that place immediately because your mental health is more important than a stupid job with stupid money. Honestly, money isn't even real. So
that's true.
Yeah, and a person can make you look crazy. I'm telling you, I had a manager that her vibes were so bad. I mean, it's just too much anger. You can't really deal with that, especially a boss that's the head of it. It's other than a coworker, you could always complain, but if it's a manager that's doing it, it's
different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, you don't really have too much say.
You should be able to be happy going to work with the person you are. Or, you know, there was this a director, she used to just make everyone feel like they can't do the job that they were already put in position to do. It's like you're coming in here, and then now it's like,
why did you hire me then?
A new boss, someone who came in not as a coworker, but just as a boss, and was trying to change all the rules.
I don't think I've ever had like a new boss, but I've always had like people who like, okay, like I knew something was supposed to be this way, right? And then somebody tried to come in and be like, no, you did that wrong, and I'll be like, excuse me.
Without asking the person who made the rules, is this right?
Yeah,
or
like
could it be changed? Just work together.
Exactly. Like I just feel like people are very like, oh, I'm gonna do it this way. You know, people aren't like flexible. You know, like especially people in like boss situations because they're like, I know that this is a good way to do something, so I'm gonna do it this way. And
but you know what? Some of them come in and they feel like they have to be like that so that they get respect. But I don't think that's always necessary. You know how they say men sometimes. Kind of, you had a boss that said that he's purposely aggressive or like on point with everyone because they want to get the respect, but sometimes you could get the opposite depending on the person. We're all different personalities.
I feel like when you give somebody respect, that's when you get respect. You know what I mean? Like I remember, like I'm a terrible person sometimes, and at work I'll online shop, and my boss like actually like caught me, or she saw me like checking my emails or something, and like one day she like took me aside and she was like, hey, listen, like I understand like you're very busy, like you're in school and everything like that, but like when you do like personal things like on like company time, like it's really disappointing and it hurts my feelings and it's like not okay. And like after that I was like, wow, like I feel really bad. Like I genuinely felt bad because I was like, wow, that is a really disrespectful thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to be doing that. I could wait until I get home or something like that, or I can check on my break. But like when you approach somebody like that gets a way better response as opposed to being like, what the frick are you doing?
See, and it's funny. I'd rather someone say, what the frick are you doing? I hear people try to make you feel bad. It's not even about feeling bad. It's about understanding what you did wrong and getting the point. There's nothing to feel bad about because it's an email. Now, if you was like doing something way different.
Well, it was like of a course of like she's seen it
wasn't
multiple
what you're supposed
times.
to do, But I love when people say try to empathize. I understand you're doing school, because it's not just work.
Yeah.
That I love that. There's different ways people talk. They have, you know, they go to school for that. Even teachers, they go to school to know how to just teach, not just the knowledge that they need.
Right.
Yeah. And I think everybody should know how to approach people.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah. Like
I
a
think
lot
that's
of
part
people.
of being. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
I feel like the way your boss communicates you, I feel like that's part of being an effective communicator with someone else. And I feel like part of being a good manager, a good boss, a good anything is knowing how to communicate with other people.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because like you said, like the way she said it to you, you're like, wow, like now I see, like, you know, like I was wrong. But if she just came at you and she's like, what are you doing? You would just be like, okay, let me go back to doing this because I don't care.
Yeah.
It's no stress, you know, you don't need the stress. Yeah. Do you know a person who, we mentioned this before about respect, someone who says, okay, I'm not going to give you the respect until you give it to me?
No, I don't like.
You heard that before.
I don't like that mentality.
You earn my respect. People who say that,
I really don't like that mentality. It's a very poor attitude to have.
I have a really big problem with authority in general. So like, if you're nasty to me, like you will get the bull and the horns. Like I don't care. I don't really. Literally, I mouth off to my parents all the time. Like I mouth off to anybody because like if you're just nasty to me, like you have something coming. Because I'm a very nice girl. Okay, I'm a nice girl and I approach people with respect. Okay,
it's true.
I never try to step on anybody's toes. I never try to be mean to people unintentionally. Sometimes I won't like your outfit, but I'm not gonna tell you. Like, don't come at me like you're better than me. That's the one thing. That's the one thing that I can't stand with like people who are like, oh, like you have to respect me first. Yeah, you're assuming that you're better than me, so I have to show you respect first.
Exactly.
And I don't like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we're on the same plane. We're both humans. We're both on this earth at the same time. We breathe the same air. Like I don't know what your problem is.
Like, how could you live your life like that, being so angry? Basically, every day when you go in to meet a new person, you run into a new person, you're already having a negative vibe. That's not, they don't understand it all. They don't get it. They're not woke at all. Yeah. I'm just like my dad, too. I have to tell someone, I'm very stern with people. I don't let people get over me. I hate that, and I hate being in a position where I have to. You know how where there's someone else around, you can't look bad or tell someone off. Have you ever been in a situation where people get away with things at work and you can't even come out of your character because you know people are watching, but they're just so good at being conniving?
Yeah.
It's like,
I hate it when you're just like, oh my God, like, why doesn't everyone see how terrible this person is? Because everyone's like, oh, like, they're great, they're fine. And I'm like, no, this person is actually a sack of poop right now. They're really terrible. All they do is complain. And, like, I don't like it when people you work with, like, they're like, oh, you're not listening to me, you're not listening to me. But like when I listen to you, okay, I'm listening to you. But when I say something, you're like, no, I don't care.
Yes, I really don't like that at all. It's so disrespectful.
Yeah, like you're not like giving me the proper respect that I just gave you. So what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not gonna give me respect, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna show you any. And I don't want to continue this like conversation at all. Like, I just don't do it.
I personally don't like the one coworker that is on the same level as you, but like for some reason has like this, since they've been there longer or whatever, have like this greater sense of authority. Like they can tell you what to do or how to act.
Because they have seniority or something.
Yes, I really don't like that.
Yeah. Purposely, you know. If it's necessary, okay, but when someone actually purposely has to tell you that they're better than you because I know more, I've been here, I know everyone here, like, come on, get over yourself.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah, it's like, well, I got hired for this job too, so.
We have the same qualifications.
Literally, we have the same job description, so, like, get over it. Thank you.
But do we have a mystery topic?
Yes, you do.
Ooh.
When you apply for a job, anyway, knowing that you're not qualified for it, and you get it, and then no one shows you what you need to be doing.
Oh my gosh, it's like, listen here, I just came here, please tell me how to work this machine, because it was a little different, it got upgraded or something.
I feel like usually I don't try to apply for jobs that I'm not like qualified for, because I really don't like being unprepared. Like, I hate going into a situation being like I don't like having my face hanging out. But if that does happen, you know, you just gotta like kind of take charge and just be like,
gotta wing it.
Don't be scared.
You absolutely have to wing it. And the things that you don't know, you have to ask. You know,
that's true.
You have to just be like, exactly. It's kind of different from when I worked with it. Tell me how.
Because you know what I feel like when I did get into a lot of things that I wasn't all the way aware of, I wasn't the best. I'm there to learn and be better. And after I went through all the bull and like the stress, like crap, or that bad day where everyone's on you, and I bettered myself. I don't take things to offense, so I go home, I better myself. Then I'm glad I did this, and I might get better than everyone else who was there originally, you know?
I think sometimes it's okay to take risks like that. I mean, when I took this job here, I had zero camera experience. I had no writing experience. Our producer, Michael, literally just took a chance on me because I'm not sure why. I'm going to ask you that after the show. But... I mean, I had no journalism experience, and literally he's just like, okay, interview this person, and I was like, all right, let me go look this up online, let me go, do my research, and I had my little tape recorder.
I regret nothing.
Yes, I regret nothing about it.
I mean, from what I've seen, you like music, because I know you wanted to talk about music before, you have personality, you have your own character. I could say, like, what's her aura, you know? And that's what I think really it's about.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I feel like also if you're willing to work like how you were like, okay, let me look up like what I need to do, how I'm gonna present this, you know, like if you're actually willing to do the work, maybe that's what people see in you. That's the chance that people take in you, because they're like, okay, this girl is applying for this job because she's interested. You know what I mean? If you're going into something and you're like, I don't really care, I just want to do it for the bucks, like, you're obviously not gonna do a good job, you know, and that's something that people can sense on you, in my opinion.
Right.
But I think that is all the time we have today.
Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to check us out on our Facebook page, the Femme Spot.
And also our Twitter page. We'll see you guys later. Bye.